Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm done with them. Nerf
Yeah.
Whitehead to the ground.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Make Grima 160 points.
Sure. Welcome everyone to another Into the West video. I'm Charles, and with me today are Richard and Ian, and we have a special collaboration with Will from Hobby Hobbits,
Hello, everybody. Glad to be here.
a fellow Canadian creator.
Yes.
If you guys have not heard of the Hobby Hobbits, definitely go check out their channel. They do something that we no longer do. We have retired from, which is battle reports, and they do a great job at it. So, battle reports is your thing. Definitely check them out. So, we're here to talk about Clash on the Coast, which is our annual premier tournament here in Western Canada. And we're going to be covering the various events from that weekend. And Will is here to also talk a bit about his experience. This is his first time attending, right?
It was my first time, yes, and it was a lot of fun.
Will, do you want to give a bit of a background, like for the people that do know you from Hobby Hobbits, but where is like your group from and what's your experience in the tournament scene? Because yeah, this was your first time at Clash on the Coast.
Yes. So, me and Kevin, who run Hobby Hobbits, we're from Winnipeg, Manitoba. So, for those of you that don't know, it's right in the middle of Canada, like right in the middle. And the next nearest major city to us is like 7 hour drive away. So we're pretty isolated. But having said that, we've got a decent size group of people. I think we get our tournaments are between 10 to 20 in theory that we can get. So it's a decent sized group for the small community that we have here. So it's good. We try and do tournaments a couple times a year, maybe like every 3 months or so. My first international experience was a little earlier this year at Adepticon, where I think it was like 26th or something like that. I think just above Ian or just below Ian. Sorry, just below Ian. Yeah, you got me that time. And then Kevin and I traveled this time flying instead of driving. Unfortunately, I much prefer the 11-hour drive, but we flew to BC because it would have been a 20 plus hour drive for Clash, and we did the doubles and the singles, and it was a lot of fun. So
I guess just jumping into it. Every year Clash is the Friday to Sunday. Friday is made up of the Masters event and doubles, and then the GT is usually the Saturday and Sunday. So before we get into doubles, which Will and Kevin did play in, I just want to mention or show the winning Masters list. We're not going to go into all the Masters list. That's a whole different.
you don't want to talk about your list, Richard?
It's too good. I don't want to release the secrets, you know. Uh, so it's basically 12 of the best players from the Northwest or all of like the West Coast, basically, of Canada and the US. That's basically our league. And yeah, Rob from Washington actually took it, who is, also in our Discord with Defenders of Helm's Deep. So it was a well fought four-game tournament. And so huge congrats to Rob here. List on the screen here: Théoden, Haldir, and Legolas at 600 points.
Maxed the bows, maxed the throwing weapons. Foot Rohan OP. Been saying it for
Rohan's
years.
back. It's back.
Rohan, Rohan is totally back. Okay, so let's go into Will and Kevin's doubles list at 700 points. So, three games. And yeah, Will, do you want to give us a quick rundown of what happened?
Yeah, so we decided very last moment, I think it was the night before list submission, that we wanted to do Rivendell. I think we were tossing around the idea of Return of the King, and then we're looking through like a list of all the different lists that we could play. And I was like, why not Rivendell? I've got a bunch of elves I need to paint, and this would be perfect motivation to paint the elves. So we decided on Rivendell. We got the one warband, or one half of the army with Elrond, and the other half with Arwen and Rivendell. And turns out Rivendell's pretty good because we ended up winning doubles. So it went pretty well. Wrath is really strong puddle. So yeah, we ended up winning the doubles.
Oh, there's the trophy.
Here's the trophy.
Congrats. So, yeah, I mean, we've been hearing about Rivendell all year long about being a little underrated. So, yeah, great to see it, win. And it wasn't a small tournament either. I believe there was 22 or 24 teams. So,
There's 22 teams. Yeah.
yeah. So almost 50 people in the actual doubles tournament.
It felt really strong when we played it. We played against a dragon. We won that one. Fornost won that one, and Defenders of the Pelennor. So, and it felt really good in all of those. We were rolling pretty hot, which definitely didn't hurt. I think one of our Wrath of Brunans, I think I rolled 4 6s in a row, and it took out a Army of the Dead banner carrier. So I was, it was very good.
All right. So great start to the weekend for our heroes from
Yes.
Winnipeg. But I guess jumping into the results for Clash on the Coast. So we are going to be running through the top 10 today, and then we can always post the long shanks for the results for anyone who's interested in the description of the YouTube video. But before we get into the top 10, we got to shout out some, close calls here. So Will ended up 4-2 for the GT, so we won't be going through his list, but it's still a really respectable record, and he ended up 16th. We have, a couple of guys from our Discord, Alex O from Texas, also 4-2. He ended up 13th. Frank Castillo in 12th from the East Coast. Rob, who won the Masters, he ended up 11th with a 4-2 record, and I did play him in the GT, so very cool as he was running Fields of Celebrant, and he was doing very well with it. So yeah, well done to these guys. Okay, with that, we can jump into number 10. So this is Eli's The Black Gate. Ian, do you want to read this out for us?
Sure. So he's got the Mordor Troll Chieftain as his leader. With him, he's got one Morannon Orc with banner, five Morannon Orcs with shield and spear, and nine Morannon Orcs with shield. His second warband is the Mouth of Sauron, and he did take the armored horse. He's got four Morannon Orcs with shield and spear, and 10 Morannon Orcs with shield. And finally, a Mordor Orc Shaman with two Morannon Orcs with shield and spear, and four Morannon Orcs with shield. Interesting choice to take the armored horse on the Mouth, but I think it kind of makes sense just so you can kind of have a hero who's a little mobile in the list. And I do know that Eli has been playing with the Black Gate for basically the whole year, like since the edition launch. So he is quite practiced and quite experienced with it. And honestly, that is just a lot of D6 strength 4 troops and some pretty solid heroes to back it up. So I'm not surprised he did decently well with this.
The armored horse is the same price as a second banner, though.
Yeah, but it's fight 3. Like,
Yeah.
oh no, this one doesn't get the banner. Yeah, this is the temptation one. The eyeball
Yeah,
does the
yeah,
temptation
yeah.
in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not a banner effect. But you get the shenanigans from that and from the Mouth of Sauron. The Mouth of Sauron's a really solid caster with 2 might and channeling. Like he can still be really annoying with that. And he's got decent support spells, so plus the shaman as well.
Does the mouth have March?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, he still has the whole package. I think he took the armored horse because it was either that or the second banner because he's pretty much maxed out, right? He has one more slot.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess in that way it's unfortunate. Like at 650, maybe it's a little bit awkward because I can see at 700, you definitely do drop the armored horse, I think, and then you probably have to grab another guy or another captain, and get a couple more guys.
Maybe a drummer. I'm just looking in the trying to find the list.
Can they get drummers?
Yeah, 1 second.
Well, getting the captain instead of the shaman would give you a few more slots, right?
Yeah.
If you went that route.
Yeah, but the shaman is quite good with the Morannons.
This is pretty much becomes a completely fearless army except for the mouth with the shaman. So
Yeah, I like the shaman take. makes your courage not bad. Like it's okay with it because the chieftain's fearless, but with a shaman in there, just having that utility, and then if he wants, because he can channel, right? Then he has the shaman and the mouth can throw channeled spells on a turn if he really wants to shut down a hero.
I did play Eli in a practice game a few months ago, earlier in the summer. Also 650 points, but I think it was a different variant. He didn't have the armored horse then, and I think he did have the captain instead of the shaman. It worked out decently then, but I'm sure he's probably had a couple matches where the fearless was needed because there was some stats released too about the GT breakdown, and I believe Return of the King was one of the most popular armies, right? So
Yeah.
it was probably a decent meta read.
Yeah. Also, just I think this is one of the ways you could do it where you actually end up with this many models at 650, which is really making use of the +1 to wound bonus for the orcs when they outnumber.
Yeah, and let me just go to Eli's. He started out with a big win over Riders of Thedan, and then he got a minor win over Breaking in the Fellowship, destroyed Road to Rivendell, tied Host of the Witch King, loses to Minas Morgul, and then beats Return of the King. So,
There we
hey,
go.
there we go. Maybe he loses without the shaman there in his final game. Even Minas Morgul, too. Even though it was a major, a 9-2 loss was not that bad. I'm sure Fearless played a part in that game as well. So, and then Host of the Witch King. So you can argue a good half of his games, like courage did matter, you know.
Yeah.
So
Once he stopped picking on the fellowship.
going to number 9. Will, do you want to do us the honors?
Sure. I love Egmar, so this is perfect. All right, so he's got the Witch King of Egmar as his leader with Morgul Blade and Horse, 1 Egmar Orc Warrior with Banner, 4 Egmar Orc Warriors with Shield, 4 Egmar Orc Warriors with Spear, 1 Werewolf, and 1 Warg Rider with Shield and Throwing Spears. And then he has Aldrak, Warlord of Karn Doom, with 4 warriors with shield, 4 orc warriors with spear, 1 werewolf, 1 Egmore Warg Rider, shield and throwing spears. And then Barrow White with 2 orc warriors with shield, 2 with spear, and then a Barrow White with 2 more orc warriors with shield and spear for 33 models.
Yeah. So this is Tristan playing Host of the Witch King. Tristan is from Vancouver Island, which is, close to us, but they're kind of a subgroup, in BC. And it's nice seeing that group, having some good results at the GT.
This is very reminiscent of the last edition Witch King Gully list.
But
Just with a
Aldrak,
new,
But now it's
a new friend instead.
Aldrak
But-
is not quite gully, but yes.
No,
Not
but
quite.
If
He's
you're
got the
getting a
mighty blow.
paralyzed guy, like
Yeah.
with mighty blow, 6 like strength,
Strength
5,
5.
6 strikes. Yeah, like
I think he has heroic strength too.
yeah, he's got options.
I
Like
don't know for sure, but yeah,
he can
kills
put the
things.
hurting on if he can actually like get close enough. But
I'd be scared to go against this list with the Balrog.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
I mean it is very susceptible to getting shot off the board, but maybe he just didn't have any matchups where that happened.
So I guess we can
That's
take
true.
a look at the matchups.
Kingdom of Khazad-dûm.
Win over Kingdom Khazad-dûm. Win over Usurpers. Win over Fields of Celebrant. Tie with Eli, 10th place Black Gate. Lost against Steps of Moria.
Oh,
And won against Rivendell.
Huh.
I guess the Balrog
Well-
didn't mind this list.
Yeah, but I mean,
It was
Kingdom of
Recon.
Khazad-dûm.
I think it was maybe because it was
Reconnoiter,
Reconnoiter.
yeah.
The Goblin Horde just like ran past. Like
Yeah.
the Depths of Moria just have so many more models, right?
Or if
Yeah.
he just gets the Balrog on the middle, it's or like towards
Off.
the back.
I
yeah.
think this game the Balrog got off the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but like the other ones that he won, like King of Khazad-dûm, maybe not the Usurpals, but Fields
Shooting.
of Celebrant.
Yeah.
Like those ones he just shuts down the bigger heroes and then beep.
Yeah. I do like the mix of two werewolves, two Angmar Warg Riders,
Mhm.
I know some people think that you take one or the other, but it's kind of nice that they have different utility, right?
Mhm.
The War Riders can still cancel out like the cavalry charge, and also you can potentially split them into two models for objective taking.
Mhm.
But then like the werewolves, it's really hard to deal with when they're trying to capture objectives just because they have the fell sight, right? And anything that is like two wounds, like two attacks, fight five, like you never know how much resources to commit, right? Because it is a dice game. And if you commit two guys, you could easily lose that fight to it, right? So if you're trying to like guarantee an objective, you usually have to overcommit points to defend against werewolves.
Yeah, you probably want to leave at least 3 or 4 models just to like guarantee it.
Yeah, because they get the first charge, right, with the fell sight, and then they're probably fighting one model, right? Good chance they kill that one model. So yeah, it can get
Yeah.
ugly quick if you don't
And
send enough.
if you're not fight 5-2, then they can pretty easily roll some sixes and
Mhm.
suddenly you don't have many guys left. I really like this list. I love Aldrak and Karn Doom. Obviously, there's no other Karn Doom guys, but some representation. That's all I'm asking for. So I really like it.
Karn Doom in the top 10. Heard it
That's
here
right.
I
first.
mean,
That's right. Karn Doom OP.
I think it'd be nicer if the model count was a little higher, just because you are still relying on the orcs. But I guess he's got enough in there with shields and stuff that they were able to buy enough time for the
Yeah.
rest of the list to do work.
Yeah.
He's
As much as like, I always rag on this, I know it's more of a preference thing, but for me, I just don't take Morgul Blade and maybe like take out the throwing spears from the War Riders and just get those like numbers up to 35, 36.
with all the monsters running around that Morgul Blade.
Uh,
You got the Barrel Whites already,
That's
right?
true. And Mighty Blow on Aldrak.
Yeah. I would be curious if the Morgul Blade did anything like during a 6 game GT, right? And that's my issue with it because even if it does something, it's one game usually.
I guess sometimes it's just the threat of it that maybe makes it worth the 10 points, right? People avoiding the Witch King with their eagles and
yeah, I mean, in that Depths of Moria game, like even just having it still makes the Witch King a big threat, right?
yeah.
I'd be curious to know if the Witch King ended up dying or if the Balrog just avoided him the whole game.
Yeah. I'm not sure I would throw a Witch King into the Balrog even if I have the Morgul Blade.
Oh,
But if you
yeah,
paralyze
if
it
he's immobilized or
Yeah,
paralyzed,
fair,
you
fair,
take the shot, right?
fair. Yeah,
Take the
if it's
shot.
paralyzed.
and you spend the might to do 2 wounds and bye bye Balrog. And maybe he thought there was going to be more Balrogs at the tournament as well.
There was enough.
There really was.
Charles, would you do the honors to read number 8, Alexander Kenny, a former founding member of Into the West podcast?
Yeah, longtime listeners will know that he's the biggest Khazad-dûm fan, and sometimes we miss having him on talking about dwarves. But here's his list for Kingdom of Khazad-dûm. He has Durin with 10 Hearthguard, 5 Dwarf Rangers with Dwarf Longbow, and 3 Iron Guard. And then a Dwarf King with throwing weapons, leading 1 Iron Guard, 6 Dwarf Rangers with Dwarf Longbow, 7 Dwarf Warriors with Shield, and a Dwarf Warrior with Banner. So that's 35 models. Now, Ian, did he max the bows?
No, and it annoyed me, but he
He would
did
have
pretty
won.
good.
He would
He
have
did
won.
pretty good. Actually, Alex and I got a lot of practice games in before the event, and we tried a few different builds of Kingdom of Khazad-dûm, and it kind of builds weird at 650 when you go with Durin, because you kind of end up with like awkward amounts of warband slots, or not quite where you want to be. So he tried a triple hero build, and he only had like 30 models, and we had a chat, and like I like don't think that that's the right build. Like you want to maximize your army bonuses, you want to get as many numbers as you can. And he decided to go for the Dwarf King so he could still get the march in there and a fight 6 hero support and stuff. And I mean, clearly it paid off for him decently well. I know from chatting to him, yeah, the army bonuses that he had made a big difference, specifically the Dom 2. I think he won a couple of his games just having the Dom 2 on a bunch, like good chunk of his army.
Yeah. Not to gas him up too much, but I believe this was his best finish at Clash and or any like major event. So huge shout out to him. And not only that, but he was also the best performing Alex. And he was also the best performing Khazad-dûm player at the tournament. So
I think there were 6 Khazad-dûm
yeah.
lists.
Yeah, so that was actually impressive. The Alex
Very
one, there was a
impressive.
lot of Alexes too. But
There was.
they're both,
Like
they're
five.
both good
There
stats.
might have been 5 or 6 Alexes as well. They should have all taken dwarves.
So I guess the only minor thing that I'm seeing is I don't know if Ian, if you talked to him about this, but wouldn't it be better if the dwarf banner was in Durin's warband and just did like a quick swap? Just because like that's where all the killing power is focused, right?
Yeah, probably. I'm not sure what the justification was for that, but I mean, it could be that he was maybe planning to keep the shields in the middle, and then the Iron Guard or the Khazad Guard kind of on the flanks, and they'd be fine with the banner reroll, like the army bonus one. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably get rerolls most of the time anyway, even
Yeah.
without the banner around, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's more important just to have the banner follow some of your heroes around just to make sure they are getting the rerolls.
Mhm.
And Durin gets one anyway from his axe, so it's probably fine.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, I think the only thing would be just if you're going to commit to this many bows, maybe take one more, just swap out for one more. I don't know if it would make a difference.
No, no, this is perfect. One shy of max bows. It's the perfect amount.
I think this was all of the dwarf bows that he actually owns, so
Yeah.
maybe we can
That
give
is
him
a good
pass.
reason.
So he lost against Minas Morgul game one.
His
He beat
only loss to Jake.
Yeah.
yeah, Summer hard
Not
there.
bad.
He beats Moria. I'm not sure which. Oh, this is the
This is
double dragon,
Double Dragon Moria.
which is very impressive
Yeah.
with a dwarf army. So,
Yeah.
and that was hold ground. I mean, I guess maybe that helps out a little bit because maybe the dragons were also flying towards the middle a little bit, but
You do have the mirrors, which can help.
yeah. But
But
honestly, still, it seemed like a close game, 7-6.
I-
Great win though here.
This might have been one of the ones that was the Dom 2 paying off.
Yeah,
yeah.
100%. And then game three, he beats Fiefdoms. Game four, he beats the Return of the King. Game five, he beats the Bjornings. And then final game, he also ekes out another 5-4 win over Fields of Celebrant. So, yeah, that is the perfect way to submarine. Absolute textbook.
Solid run. He didn't. Oh, I guess he played a couple of evil lists at the start, and then into a lot of fight 5 after that. He still did pretty well, which is pretty good.
Yeah, well done, Alexander.
Yeah.
Then next we have Nathaniel Boba from Oregon. So he took the Rise of the Necromancer. He has Sauron the Necromancer leading one Hunter Orc Warg Rider, 3 Hunter Orcs with bow, 7 Hunter Orcs, 2 Mirkwood Giant Spiders. Second warband is the Witch King Nazgul of Dol Guldur, with 4 Hunter Orc warriors with bow, 8 Hunter Orcs, and 1 Mirkwood Giant Spider. And in the third warband, we have the Hunter Orc Captain leading 3 Hunter Orcs with bow, 4 Hunter Orcs, and 1 Fell Warg for 37 models. What a mad lad.
That's a lot of foot hunter orcs.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I've tried this list or a very similar version of this earlier in the year, and it just the Hunter Works suck so much. So I don't know. I like the hero choices that he has, though. I think that makes sense. They're probably the best options for the way you want to build it at this level. It's the
Yeah.
troops backing it up. It's not a lot.
Yeah. I think it helped that like Sauron the Necromancer is a pretty good value now, but it's just the Hunter Orcs. Like,
Yeah.
we've talked endlessly about that. I actually briefly talked to him at the GT, and I think what helped is that he didn't have the mental block of playing Hunter Orcs last edition. He was telling me, he was like, yeah, I went back and I looked at the rules, and wow, they had permanent 2 attack. Must have been good.
That would help. Yeah, that would make a difference.
And then I'm like, yeah, they haven't left my case in this edition.
Well, now maybe they need to, because what is this,
Uh,
7th?
yeah.
It's
And
not bad.
only one mounted one. The
Yeah.
mounted War Riders are so good now, right? He only took
Yeah.
one.
That is quite surprising.
Yeah.
And then are these, if they've renamed the spiders, are these are the paralyzed ones, right?
These are the big
Mm.
ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that makes sense. So I wonder if you just got some good combos off, because they do combo well with the necromancer.
Well, yeah, if you're paralyzed, even Foot Hunter Orcs will deal damage.
Yeah, but like the necromancer has, I forget what's the curse, that's the one that gets rid of fate points. So
Yeah, yeah.
it is
Oh,
solid.
the synergy with the paralyzed, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
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 I mean, it's still unlikely, but I guess, yeah, that was a combo.
It is something, right?
Some
And then
one fate heroes might not like that.
they're also great for any of the objective scenarios, right? Because of their movement over terrain. Like they can just run around a bunch of stuff and go score points. So
His Necromancer proxy was super cool. That's all I remember. It was like painted as like pure blood. It was like dark red or something. Yeah.
oh no,
Looks
wait.
super cool.
Merc with giant spiders, they're not the paralyzed ones. They're the
Oh,
other
what?
ones.
I thought the hunting
Yeah, they
spiders
changed
are
it. Hunting is the
is the
small ones.
small
Oh,
ones.
wait.
And then
Oh no, yeah, no, giant is the webs ones. No, yeah, they
Yeah.
are.
yeah.
Yeah, they mix. Oh god.
I think they used to be called
Yeah.
giants. It's very
Yeah,
confusing.
Yeah, it is. They mix them. They swap the names. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Yeah. Okay.
So they
Yeah,
made
yeah.
it less confusing, but we're confused because we
Yeah.
were. Yeah, we were. Yeah.
Been playing this game too damn long. I wish I could wipe good hunter orcs from memory. That'd be nice.
Hey, I never played with them, so to me, this looks like a list I want to take.
Well, let's see what his matchups were. I'm curious.
Yeah. But very impressive, honestly, because
Yeah.
I don't know how many people
Very.
expected this result with this army. So first game, comfortable win over Army of Erebor. Second game, a tie against Muster of Isengard in Sights of Power.
Yeah, that's the
Uh,
berserker spam one. So
Game 3, a win over Return of the King. Game 4, another win over Usurpers of Edoras. Game 5, another win over Return of the King. And in the last game, a tie with Minas Marvel. So he actually went undefeated this tournament. So it was just 2 draws for him.
it's really solid.
4-0 and 2. Yeah, I would not, expect that at the beginning of the GT saying, Hunter Orcs going undefeated.
Mm-hmm. I like a decent strength of schedule too.
I'm surprised it did so well against the usurpers. I feel like there's no juicy targets for the necromancer and the.
That usurpers build was not super optimized.
Okay.
It was only like 40 models, I think, and no Crebain.
No Crebain, yeah.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
was the big
Yeah.
one.
Yep.
So if like the Hunter Orcs get a couple good charges off, they would have done some damage.
I think
That's fair enough.
I think Crebain might have swung that matchup because
Yeah.
you would need to always commit to have a bunch of guys like wrapping Sauron because you don't want Crebain to jump the line and like plug up Sauron for like 5 turns, right?
Sauron
Like,
has an instant kill thing.
yeah, but you got to win the fight, right? Like
I mean,
2
Sauron-
attacks.
but-
He's got
yeah,
2 attacks.
2
now.
attacks, and like the Crebain
Fight
are gonna
8 or
struggle to
Crebain are also
charge.
2 attacks. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
but they're gonna
he's like
struggle
fight
to
8 or
charge him
something.
too.
I
No,
mean,
well, they're fearless. Oh, yeah, they're not in that list. Yeah,
I still would throw Crebain at Sauron. I think it's still worth it.
they aren't fearless though in usurpers. So
Yeah.
the harbinger might make it a little hard to charge, but I definitely think that Crebain would have helped.
I mean, against Beornings or not Beornings. Is that
Return of the
it's
King?
Return of the King. Sorry.
Return of
He
the
played
King.
2 Return of the Kings, which is also very impressive because that's a lot of terror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hunter
Which
Orcs
is-
are not known for fighting
Well,
return.
they used to be fine with it when they were always two attacks, but now that they have to be charging,
Yeah,
that's not
it's
great.
really bad actually.
Yeah, that's
Just roll sixes.
I guess there's probably likely two movement based scenarios.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
at least
still though.
they're strength 4, right? So they do
Yeah,
kill the dead on sixes.
but the dead outfight him when they're close to Aragorn.
Yeah,
Keep
so
Aragorn away. I think Necromancer's got compel, right? You can
Yeah,
compel him
yeah,
away.
no, and he definitely played some decent players in Jake.
Yeah.
I mean, Ben, very solid. I know Joey's up and coming. Jordan
Jordan
is
solid.
quite solid too. And then, yeah, Matthew is a local guy who, he gets games here and there. So, yeah, we can't just say he had just good matchups.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hunter Orcs OP.
well
I guess
piloted.
so. I guess so. All right, he just needs to do it a couple more times and then I'll believe it.
Yeah.
Next one. We have Jake Deloy, the conquering European hero himself, returning from the GBHL. Ian, do you want to go over his Minas Morgul list?
All right, so he's got the Witch King on a Fell Beast. No Morgul Blade here. Uh, with him, he has one Mortal Orc with Banner, one Drummer, one Spectre, 5 Orcs with Shield, 6 Orcs with Spear, one with Bow, and 2 Morannon Orcs with Shield. Then he has a Mordor Orc Captain, one Orc with Banner, one Spectre, 3 Orcs with Shield, 5 with Spear, and 2 Morannons with Shield. And his last warband is a Mordor Orc Taskmaster, one Spectre, 4 Orcs with Shield, 5 with Spear, one with Bow, and one Morannon with Shield. So that's 44 models total.
The man really likes his double banners, huh? Even
He
in a
loves
fight
it.
3 army.
He's addicted. I mean, it does like if you get into a shooting heavy, like a game against a shooting heavy list that is a banner one, right? It means you don't automatically have to run at them.
But you're running at them anyway with this army. He has
Yeah, but
two
you
arc
have
bows.
a bit more play, right? If you have the double banner, you can stall out and make up the points that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
He does
I mean,
have the
he's
drummer
got
that,
he's got the drum, right?
yeah.
And the march. So he can move quite fast if needed.
Yeah.
I wonder how many times the Taskmaster got his might back.
That's a good question. I didn't ask him.
I didn't ask
Me
him
neither.
either.
I thought he had a captain in there, honestly. I didn't
I
realize
didn't realize either.
There's people who have built this army with like pure Mordor orcs, whereas he chose to go with a mix, which, I don't think is a bad idea. So he has a couple Morannon orcs with shield in each warband to tank the front line, right? So he is like I'm guessing like maybe a center or like certain areas where he can actually hold a little bit longer.
But I mean, his warbands are almost maxed, so he maybe I guess he could drop a couple of the Morannons and then maybe go for max warbands. But having some D6 in there has got to be nice.
Mhm.
Strength 4 too. I guess they got Blades the Dead, so
Yeah. He also went with 3 specters. So I think rather than going for like pure numbers here, he kind of chose the tech options, right? He
Mhm.
took the Felbeast, took double banners, took 3 specters, took the drum, took Morannons. So I think that kind of gave him tools, right? Instead of just going for overwhelming numbers and trying to get 50 models or something like that.
And 44 is still great when they're all wounded. Well, when most of them are wounding on courage. That's still really solid.
I mean a fight 6 flying monster
Yeah, yeah.
still not bad either.
Yeah.
And the specters are just they're solid at I mean, just sitting on objectives when you use them to. He said he told me he did that in a couple of the games. Like once the Lions clashed, it didn't really matter, and he could just sneak them back there.
Also really useful when going against like Return of the King and things like that for charging.
Yeah, yeah.
So we can take a look at his games. So he tied Alex Kenny's, or he beat
No,
Alex Kenny's Khazad-dûm game 1. He tied the Return of the King game 2. Big win over Muster of Isengard, and then squeaked by a small win over the Bjornings. Beat Eli's Blackgate, and then tied in the last round against Rise of the Necromancer that we just talked about.
He fought hard for those ties.
Yeah,
One
10,
of them
10
is
ties.
heirlooms
Crazy.
too.
It
I've never
was.
tied in heirlooms.
So
It was the game.
yeah, I only heard about this story at the pub, the war story. I wasn't there to witness it, but I think I believe Joey picked up the objective and went up this like very cursed terrain where it was just like
It's like a
several stories
it
high.
was a 3-story building.
Yeah, and then he piled in his like dead guys like after the king who picked it up or something. So basically, Jake had to fight through like layers and layers of the dead. Right? It was like single file to be able to get to it. It just wasn't possible.
Yeah, I remember walking by this table early on
Oh,
after our game, Charles, and I walked by, I saw the king on the second floor of the building with the loom band on him, and I saw somebody had heirlooms open. And I was like, oh no, this is not gonna go well. But he managed to get the tie, so
Which is crazy. Which
it's
I don't think would have been
impressive.
possible in the old heirloom scoring system.
Yeah,
no.
But now I guess we can see that it's
And
possible
like
to tie.
a high scoring tie too, like 10-10. That's a
Mhm.
wild score.
Which is why I still always ban heirlooms if we're playing veto.
I banned it. I didn't have the objective. I forgot my objective markers, so I had to ban it.
I think I also banned it as well. I was like, I don't want to deal with this. Heirlooms are stupid.
Too much trauma.
Interesting hero choices. Just going back to his list. I know that we're generally not a huge fan of the Taskmasters, but mixed with the drum, you can close the distance pretty quickly with the marches and still keep some might left right when you hit combat. Because if I was building this list, I would want to try out some of the stuff they threw into Legacy,
Yeah.
like Cardouche. That'd be pretty cool in this list. So an interesting pick of going to the Taskmaster, which like on at first look doesn't look that impressive, but I can see where he's going with it.
What if he gets any might back on the Witch King? It's worth like I don't know, maybe like a might and a half, just because that's an extra might on a fly move 12 flying
Is it
monster, right?
only heroics?
It's
It's move,
heroic
shoot,
moves. Yeah,
and march, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Is it shoot too?
I think pretty sure it's move shoot.
Okay.
unless they changed it.
Or move shoot and
In March, yeah.
march.
Yeah.
But I mean, you don't really want to be spending the might necessarily on moves with the Witch King. So if you can get
Yeah.
it back and then have it for later for a channeling or for a combat,
Yeah.
that sounds pretty nice.
I mean, honestly, it's not a bad choice because it just shows that Jake is a gambler, you know. It's the same thing, like same points cost as a captain. So getting the second captain, you're just guaranteed the second might. So maybe, you know, in the games that he gets more than like the four might on his two captains, you know, that could potentially win him the game, right? So I get it. It's just a greedy build.
I like the Taskmaster.
Well, you're also a gambler then.
Yes. I
Well, I
don't
don't
know.
think it's
It's just the thrill
The
of
thrill.
rolling that 4 up and then it is a 3.
like in a game, you're probably going to be calling 3 moves anyway. So that's pretty good odds you're going to get at least one extra light.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you get one more, you have
But
the
but
option again, right?
that's yeah. You're not always going to be in position to do that though,
Yeah.
especially with the Witch King, because the Witch King sometimes will be, you know, out of position. So I think it's more guaranteed that you're going to be whipping the captain, but I don't know about the Witch King. Maybe
Situationally. Yeah.
situationally, yeah.
But the
Like,
3 might with between the captain and the taskmaster, especially if you don't need to march with either of them.
mhm.
If you have the drum, you'll still have those 3 might for moves. And
To me, at this points level, it's literally a toss up. I can see when it's like, if you have like two more captains or something like that, then it's like, okay, I can see the value there, right? Because on average, you're going to make back a lot more might. But yeah, at this points level and with three heroes, I think it's a preference thing.
I like it. And you got model variety too. Looks nice on the board.
Fair, fair. Yeah, Jake also won. I believe was it best evil army or something.
Yeah.
So Yeah,
Best
maybe.
painted.
Best
I
Yeah.
think
painted evil
Yeah.
army. Yeah.
the Taskmaster did work there probably.
Yeah.
Like Will said, they saw people saw the Taskmaster. They're like, we're voting for this one.
It was a really nice looking army.
Going into our top five. Ooh, we have Corey Graves, who is also a local and in our Discord as well. And another very surprising army that we didn't expect to show up so high at Canada's biggest tournament.
If
Of
you want to
course,
see a video where we crap all over this army, check one of our new edition videos.
Uh, I will add before we get into it, he also got the most improved this year because
right.
last year at Clash he got 50 something, and here he was fifth. So that is a hell of a switch around.
And I don't know. I can't remember for sure, but there's a good chance last year he was playing last edition Corsairs. So huge mind blown. That was when Corsairs were at the top of their game.
Yeah.
So it really shows how much he improved because, he went from playing like kind of a meta list, not doing well, to this year playing like one of the worst lists, that people have like decided in this edition that it's like, at the bottom of the pile and, piloted it to top five. So very impressive.
It was scary.
All right.
I
Will,
went
do you?
against it.
Oh,
Yeah,
perfect. Do you
I
mind
did. Yeah,
running
absolutely.
through it?
So he's got the Corsair Captain Leader with a crossbow, 7 Corsairs of Umbar with light shield and throwing weapons, 5 Corsair crossbowmen. And then he has a Corsair Captain with a crossbow, 7 Corsairs of Umbar with light shield and throwing weapons, and 5 Corsair crossbowmen. And then a Corsair Bosun with a crossbow, 5 Corsair Reavers, 4 Corsairs of Umbar with spear, 3 Corsair crossbowmen, another bosun with crossbow with 4 Corsair Reavers, 4 Corsairs of Umbar with spear, and 3 Corsair crossbowmen. So 51 models, 20 bows, and those bows are crossbows.
This feels like a last edition Corsairs list. He just has less spears and
Yeah.
like less crazy heroes.
Less
I'll
defense.
I'll say those light shields put in work. I know, but they did. I don't know. I have my Drakes charging into them, and he just shielded with them, and
I'm sure he
couldn't
bought
win.
them because he has to get the throwing weapons.
Oh, I'm sure, but yeah, they put in work.
Okay.
I think the Reavers were helping just because their fearless was like the main thing that he was using them for. I don't know if he
Fearless,
actually
yeah.
triggered their special rule at all. I have no idea.
It was the fearless, and then the 2 attacks. So it's the spearmen behind them, and
Yeah.
it's pretty
So
scary.
I guess he didn't use them how like Ian suggested in one of our previous videos where he just used them for objective taking
I
for the
think he
fearless.
did
You did?
a little
I'm
bit,
sure he did. I didn't play him in an objective taking
but
scenario. It was a Lords of Battle. So
Which that is doesn't seem like a good matchup for this list.
I
but-
was well, I don't think it was
I mean,
I
he
think
does
it
have
was
heavy shooting, but
it was his best option for sure, because the other option was Clash by Moonlight against me, which was not good for him.
that's fair.
No,
Okay.
not Clash, sorry, the Assassination.
Assassination.
Yeah.
All right, so he starts out with a big win over the 3 trolls. Okay, fair.
probably just
That's a lot
shoots
of
them.
lot of shooting. Yeah, and then he wins his game 2, Moria in Command the Battlefield. I don't know which Moria this
I
is.
think that was so I was playing next to him, right next to him. Me and Charles were playing next to him. There was a Drake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a single Drake Moria list.
So like more horde, right?
Yeah.
It was a horde.
Oh, he
mode.
had like Durbers and
Yeah.
Good win there. He did take a loss against Rob's Fields of Kellerman, and then he bounces back to beat Garrison of Dale, which is wild. I'm just thinking of all the strength 3 bows into Corsairs. Oh,
I mean,
what
at least he
defense
can
are the
deploy on the half though in breakthrough.
Yeah. What defense are the Dale?
D4,
4 and 5.
D5. Wow,
So,
actually some
there's the
6.
crossbows
Yeah.
Yeah.
wounding on 4s as well.
I
But
still think they lose the shoot war, to be honest.
Well, it depends on what he's shooting. Like if the Dale is shooting back at the crossbows, they need 6s and he needs 4s to
Mhm.
wound. If Dale is just
Mm.
shooting, even against like the rest of them, they have like the light armor, right? So they still need 5s.
it's the light armor.
Yeah.
So as long
I
as he
guess so.
spreads out and makes use of his throwing weapons, he might actually outshoot the Dale.
Depends on the
Yeah.
windlands too. But,
Yeah.
and then he beats Depths of Moria in game 5.
Also next to him for that game.
And then finally he takes down our hero Will here. Very close game though, 5-1
It was very close.
in Lords of
Yeah.
Battle.
And Lord is not a great matchup for you, Will.
Not against all that shooting. It was I was definitely hoping for assassination. The Dark of Night doesn't bother me because I'm all cave dweller on my Moria, but yeah, it was really close. The game ended as soon as it could on the 1. I think if it had gone a couple more turns, because my Drakes are fearless, we had both broken at this point, it could have easily swung the other way if we went a couple more turns, but he played it very well. Very well. He'd charge his Corsairs into my Drake, sometimes the Reavers if needed. And then he would just shoot the Drake and then kill the guy into the Drake. So I couldn't do anything about it. He also got a lot of wounds on the Drake that way. I think he wounded one of my Drakes 6 times with
Ooh.
it was throughout the entire game, but it was like a group of
Yeah.
6 throwing weapons that he just kept throwing at my Drake. And
just one volunteers every turn to go.
It was really, it was something. But I passed my fate, so otherwise that would have been a victory point given up, and then it would be a major, I think. So
yeah. No, he's a vet with Corsairs. He's been playing them for a while, so he knows the tricks.
Yeah.
Yes, I appreciate it. I love throwing into my own combats as an evil army with prowlers.
I don't know what goes into this well besides maybe like elves with blinding light would probably do all right, just because they grind them down and then the blinding light can stop it. But
I could see like a shooty Defenders of the Pelennor list.
Uh-huh.
I guess maybe not at this points level. I was just thinking with like the bolt throwers and
Yeah. I think as much as they've been nerfed, at the end of the day, like a fight for horde with good shooting, it's still dangerous, right? It's just if you get into them without taking too many losses, similar to before, right? Same weakness, but it's just they're not as crazy value as before.
yeah, I think he did say he wanted to take Dalamir, but the cut to the numbers was just too much.
Yeah.
Because he does lose at least probably 5 models to get Dalamir in there.
Yeah.
It doesn't give him a whole lot, so
it's the curse of 650 points.
Yeah. So wild finish though, because I guess Will, if you had beaten him the reverse, you would probably be sitting in the top 5.
You wish now that our places have been exchanged.
We'd be reviewing my list right now.
I heard a Drake or something.
Why don't we should ask Charles?
ooh, too soon.
It might be too soon. Sorry, Charles.
Yeah, there might be a little more than one Drake.
Yes. The double Drake list with the Enraged Beast. I think it caught a lot of people off guard.
Yeah, scary.
Yeah.
All right. So number 4, we have Nick Lacton, one of our local vets here. Charles, do you want to go over his list?
We have a Shadows of Angmar list. And so he had Gullivar with 2 werewolves, 1 Angmar orc with shield, 1 Angmar orc with banner, 6 wild wargs, and then a Barrow White with 2 Angmar orcs with spear, 1 Angmar orc with shield, 2 wild wargs, and 1 werewolf, and then 2 more of the same Barrow White warband. So that's 32 models in total.
3 might.
Yeah.
5 werewolves though.
He really leaned into the Barrow Whites.
Yeah.
But
It's a cool build.
Yeah, I think what I noticed is not only just like a werewolf spam, but also the number of wild wargs.
10.
And I like this because he kind of leaned into like it's not quite like all cavalry, but it's super mobile. Like he doesn't have that many orcs, right? He just has a lot of guys like being able to follow Gully wherever he needs to be. And, having played like a really fast list before, I think what I like about these kind of lists is that you're not always reliant on fighting and killing to win the game. Like you're putting a lot of your resources into an objective taking one or like grab prize or heirloom. You're the most dangerous in those scenarios.
I mean, in
That is
Gully
true.
with like all those barrow whites around, like your leader is not safe. At any moment, he could just swoop in there, one shot it, and run away the next turn.
He also has stalk unseen now too, so you can't even target him first. He can just be behind a little bit of terrain and swoop in for the assassination.
Yeah. And before we get any comments, criticizing our ranking in the evil tier list, that was when we ranked Shadows of Angmar when Gully was 6 inches. Okay. So with the 12-inch move, Gully, like this army it's an army again.
It is an arm. I never doubted. I always thought he was going to go back to 12.
I doubt it. I'm a hater.
I like him though. I like him. I've got
Oh,
I've
here we
got
go.
one right here. So
Yeah. If you
I
guys
like
want to
him.
see Gully in action, I believe the Hobby Hobbits have quite a few videos on it because
I
Will's a
think
fanboy.
I think I only played one because I don't
Was there
think
only
Kevin,
one?
maybe two, but it might have been two from like previous edition, but only one this edition because I don't think Kevin had the best time against Shadows of Agmar.
Okay, so let's jump into Nick's games. So first game, comfortable win over Riders of Theoden makes sense. Gully has always eaten cavalry armies alive, even with the hurl changes. Second game, he squeaks out a 10-9 win over the Bjornings. So this table is actually right beside me, and these guys were battling it out. Like monsters were dying left and right. I think Bjorn died like very early on in the
Yeah.
game. I think Gully
But
died eventually too.
I,
It was crazy.
I'm pretty sure he said it was like in consecutive turns. Like Gully killed Beorn, and then Grim Beorn came in and killed Gully, and they're just like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it was happening like in the corner of my eye, but some crazy stuff was going down in this game. And then Nick loses to Depths of Moria in game three. And then he comes back with a massive 20-0 over Wolf Pack of Angmar, which makes sense. No counters against Gully in
Oh
that
god.
army.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, even the barrow whites, just as soon as they get close, just
Yeah,
sapping the
the
chieftains to death.
chieftains. Yeah. Yeah. He pulls out a win over Rivendell, which is a good win. And then there's another tight win over Alex O in the last round.
I was next to this table as well. That one was a battle.
Yeah. And that was a mirror matchup.
It
Yeah.
was. It was.
But I think Alex he had triple shaman, right?
Yes.
Triple Chavez versus triple barrel.
For
It
the
was.
the strength.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I think it was Alex killed the hero that he was trying to kill with his assassin,
Uh-huh.
and then Nick killed Alex's Gullivar, and it was just a whole. I think it was just a whole thing. It was
Yeah.
like very back and forth, but like I think he almost tabled Alex at the end. I didn't see very many of Alex's models left on the table, but it was still really close.
Yeah. With these new scenarios, when you're looking at a score of 16-13, stuff went down.
Oh, it went down.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good run too, because a pretty strong strength of schedule, I think. So, Alex O obviously just missed the top 10 there. I saw the Rivendell player Brandon at top table at one point, so he was doing well. I'm not sure exactly where he finished, but he was doing well. And then obviously the Depths of Moria, we'll get to him, but Mitchell did well in this tournament too. So
I think Brandon on Riverdale, he went 3-3. Yeah, he beat me on top table, and then it was all downhill from there.
he peaked too early.
He did, yeah.
Sometimes it's fun just to get up there at least once during
It
the
was
event.
it was fun. It was
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Maybe next year, Ian.
That wasn't what I meant, but okay. Oh, I'm already dead. You didn't need to do that.
Yeah. I mean,
Ian's list. Surely it's coming up, right? Because we haven't mentioned it yet. Surely it's coming up.
Yeah. Totally.
But I was gonna say, I think out of the four of us, you're the only one didn't see top table all weekend.
It's true. Well, I think me and Charles were on the second to top table.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you guys were on the top
Corey
table.
was on the top table, I think.
I guess.
My time was 2 years ago where I was there for 3 rounds and it sucked.
It's tough.
It's pressure.
It is pressure. Oh boy. Here we go.
All right.
Wow, what is this filth? This is disgusting.
So going into third, I decided to take one of the most underpowered armies in the game, because I'm for the underdogs. So here we go. Army of the White Hand. I have Saruman leading, 1 orc, a warrior with banner, 6 orcs with shield, 6 orcs with spear, 1 warg rider with shield, 3 Crebain, and 1 Uruk-hai scout. And then I have Grima tagging by himself. And then the Wildman Oathmaker leading 4 Wildmen with brands, 4 with spear, and 4 with bow. And then in the last warband, we have a Orc Captain leading 5 orcs with shield, 5 with spear, and 2 Crebain. So that's 46 models, 5 Crebain. And yeah, it's an army. And
Okay. 2 questions.
yeah.
Did that scout actually do anything besides die?
I think some small things, not anything huge, but I used him to threaten, like, picking up a prize. So because he has 1 higher intelligence than the regular warriors in the army. Unfortunately, like in that particular case, he was beat to the objective, but he was like kind of leading that charge. And then I think against some Fight 4 armies, he was able to, like, tie some fights and stuff like that. But I didn't keep track of like how many fights he won, but I kind of felt it.
And were the flaming brands useful?
Yes.
Yeah.
2, yeah, at least 2 games where, like, and one of them was actually against Rob's Fields of Celebrant in Breakthrough. It gave me 1 extra point for capturing his back objective, so which is a lot of points, right? Because he was trying to defend it. I had Grima there. I had 1 other guy, and then I think he had like 3 guys, so it was like 3. And then I ran a brand over there, so it became like 4 versus 3. So it's like just captured because of the brand. And then also, like, in Sights of Power against the dwarves, right? He was like all clumped up on 1 objective, and then obviously he was gonna break me. So then, like, it was a cat and mouse. Like, I didn't want to go in to get broken, and then he didn't want to charge out to leave the objective. So we were just like not really fighting, and then just like doing this. And then in the last couple turns, I ran in with the flaming brands, and then before he could kill me in time, like, suddenly I had like double the count beside that objective, right? So I like took that objective from him. So
They don't just look good, they're also useful.
I think from what I remember you saying, you also had probably some of your most ridiculous work done ever with the lightning that you've played in all of your games so far.
Yeah, so Lightning actually was the MVP. I think only 2 games it didn't do too much, but first game it killed 5 Iron Hill, or 5 airborne dwarves with lightning, and I wounded one of his like heroes. And then second game I killed 8 Iron Hill dwarves. Yeah, and then even in the last round I got 8 goblins. So yeah, not bad for a free spell, balanced army.
Were there
Yeah.
any moments? Were there any moments where you wish that your Wildman had light shields?
No. Not even if they were free.
Yeah, I feel like especially on the Fight 3 models. It's just,
Yeah.
it's not worth it.
Yeah. So, I guess just running through the games, like, yeah, so game one, seized the prizes against Erebor Reclaimed. You know, their dwarves and plus the lightning was just too much to overcome for him. Second game, Sights of Power against Erebor Reclaimed, and same thing, they're just too slow. We deployed on opposite sides of the map. He tried to protect both objectives. I swarmed one side. The one that lightning killed eight Iron Hill dwarves, so he couldn't like defend that one. So I just swarmed, killed that side, and then the second side was the one I waited around, and then ran in the Flaming Brands the last like 2 turns, and then just overran it. Right, so that's why it was a big win there. Game three, it was lead from the front against a dragon Moria, and yes, Armin was just able to shut down the dragon. And then game four was against Fields of Celebrant, Rob, in Breakthrough. And yeah, just too many models. I think he was too reluctant to charge in. If he had actually charged in right away, I think he could have broken me. But
So
I
this was the
think
all cav one, right?
this is the all cav one,
Yeah.
18 Sons over or 17 Sons overall or something. It was scary.
18, yeah.
Just trust the 2A. He's just got to go in there and yeah, trust the 2A.
Yeah,
and have him
he
fight
he
back.
just didn't want to get dismounted, like his Earl dismounted, but I think he shouldn't have worried about that. But otherwise, yeah, it was a good game.
Well, you can
Um,
stall out with your Kerbane though. Like they could really stall out a lot of the cav.
yeah, well, once he charged in, I was not stalling him out like really, like he was just killing
Fair.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was just too late. And then game five was against Ugluk Scouts in Storm the Camp. So that one, yeah, I think it just Storm the Camp, just not getting enough turns, but he did break me. And I think the only reason I actually won, because Grima is only 1 point in his camp, right? So he would have won if I didn't get a sneaky kill on Ugluk, where I knocked him on his butt with Sorcerer's Blast. He faded the wound or something, and then the Kerbane jumped in, and then he surrounded the Kerbane with Ugluk, and then he somehow lost the fight. He had like 8, 9 dice, and then the Kerbane killed Ugluk
Oh,
on the ground. So,
not like this.
so
Oh no.
that actually won me the game. It was only a 4-2 win though.
So it would have been a draw otherwise?
Or 2-1.
No, because killing leader's 3 points there,
Yeah,
so I
so
would have lost.
2-1.
Um, or no, because I think I did sneak a wound earlier on Ugluk, through
So
Sorcerer's
yeah.
Blast. So Ugluk was
Okay.
already wounded, so
So a
it
draw.
would have been a draw. And you know, Baz is one of the top players there, right? And so it was a really, really close game, but it was a good one. And then, you know, final game, I guess we have to spoil it now, but you know, we were both undefeated at the time, and then it was Lords of Battle against the Depths of Moria Mitchell. And yeah, I got a massive head start with the Lightning with 8 kills and a couple more kills with the bows on the way. But then I lost every priority except for the Palantir turn, and then he also resisted all my spells except for one where he threw one resistant at like the turn that it didn't matter. And then he ended up gaining 6 will back. So he had 16 will on the Balrog and essentially and just resisted everything. So that yeah, I just wasn't able to stop him. It ended up being pretty close though. I think he only had 4 more wounds than me at the end of the game. So yeah.
I think he said he after you got all that kill in the first turn, he said he just like had to go in and trust in the banner effect
Yeah. And I was
and the
like,
Balrog.
it was funny because I know people hate me for this because I was already playing White Hand, but I was put myself in like the corner between like two forests, and so I was playing a choke too. So yeah, but you know, still, dice is dice, right? So it felt like a game that I should have won given my positioning and like the start to the game. But yeah, you just sometimes can't lose that many priorities, and not have spells go off. Like that's a major part of my army, right? So
Imagine if you had a max the bows.
I wouldn't have got to that point, to be honest, 5-0. So yeah, but I'm happy with a third place, even taking a major loss in the last game. So all right. So do we want to go through second place? We have the list that I just talked about, Baz's list. I think it's Ian. I believe you're up.
All right, so we have Ugluk Scouts with a total of 54 models, so lots of dudes. So first of all, he has Ugluk, one scout with a banner, 9 with bow, 4 with shield, and one more with bow. Wait, what?
I don't know why that's there, but
Okay, so that's weird. Um, second warband is a scout captain, one Uruk-hai with banner, once or 7 scouts with bow, 4 scouts with shield, and then he has an Isengard orc captain, 11 orcs with spear, and then a second orc captain with 12 orcs with spear. So 54 models, 17 bows, um, 9 might, and yeah, just a lot of dudes.
one thrown weapon.
One whip on Ugluk.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Which I think it just kind of, it just Ugluk's doing Ugluk's things, right? It just
Yeah.
moves fast and it kills really well and just has the bodies to play on the objectives.
I think honestly, this might have been. I know like there were some strong lists, like my list, obviously, and then Depths of Moria. But honestly, I think this might have been the boogeyman at the tournament, where everyone just no one wanted to go up against this in any scenario pool because at 650, like I think he had one of the most highest model count armies, up to +3 to wound on his army, which is crazy. Like and at least +1 a wound like everywhere, right? And double banner, fight four, like 17 Uruk-hai bows. Like it was just at this points level, I genuinely think it's one of the best armies in the game.
Yeah.
I would
I'm
have
pretty
rather
sure
gone
you
against
said,
White Hand. Oh, sorry.
oh, so go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying I'd rather go against Richard's list than this one.
Yeah.
Well, I think he was saying like depending on the matchup because he has so many strength 3 bows and they move so fast. Like, and he's a fast player too, so he can afford to take a few turns and just like shoot you off the board and then run on objectives.
Yeah.
And double
Yeah. I mean,
banner.
I think in our match he broke me in 3 combats. So, and I have 46 models. It just chews through everything, right?
Does he have some auto wounds against your D3? Oh, he doesn't
Yeah.
have two-handed weapons.
Yep. So Uruk-hai Scout Captain is a two-hander and
Oh yeah.
strength 5, so yeah, it's easily auto wound. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think it was a great army to bring. I think people who I guess aren't that experienced probably slept on it a little bit because I would probably expect more of this army to be honest because
Yeah.
it goes well. And honestly, having played a few games against it as White Hand, not only in the GT but in a practice game, like I do think it's one of the hardest counters against White Hand because scenario and objective aside, of course, like storm the camp and certain outliers, sure, but where White Hand is a chance, but in a straight up fight or anything like that, Ugly Scouts better numbers, higher fight, way better to wound, whatever, and then Saruman doesn't do anything in that matchup. Yeah, it's so if you don't like losing against White Hand, play Ugly Scouts.
Well, I think it also comes down to 54 models. Once you get to that, so it's 28 to break. When you're getting to that many models, you need to kill the break. I I
You're
don't
not
think
really
you
breaking.
break in like on a timer. Like you don't really break in most of your games because it's just so hard for your opponent to chew through that many models.
I
Yeah,
think he did say he quartered twice though. So
yeah.
Which
So
is maybe
against
that's just a testament
Fornost
to
and
how fast he
Rivendell, I
plays.
think.
But to be fair, I think one of the games that he did though was his game 4 against Rivendell,
It
which
was, yeah.
against Wrath, understandable, right? Strength 2
Yeah.
hits everywhere. Like he's a lot of D4. So
Yeah. But only 24 models in that list. So
I'm just going to quickly go through his matchups and then you guys can comment more. But first game was against Alex O's Shadows of Angmar. Big win there. Another win over Battle of Fornost in game two, Heirlooms of Ages Past. Game three, a win over Lothlorien in Fog of War. Game four, Rivendell win, huge win in Breakthrough. Makes sense. And then game five was against me, which was a very, very minor loss. And then in game six, he beats Rob's Fields of Celebrant in Assassination.
I'm guessing here, but in those three that he played against elite lists, so 2, 3, and 4, he probably almost doubled their model count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Hard to overcome.
from what I heard against Steve's Lothlorien, I think he spiked one shooting turn and took out like, well, I don't know, it was like 8 to 10 elves or something from shooting. So then he was like, okay, well, that's just game over right there. The 17 Uruk-hai bows, like, yeah, it's a high roll, but it can happen, right?
Absolutely.
It's disgusting.
Was he using Into the West dice?
No.
I don't think so.
I think
don't
he
think
has
so.
his patented Mordor dice that he likes using. Actually looking at his opponents, and this might be the hardest strength of schedule that I've seen so far because even if they didn't make the top 10, all these are, I think, notable players that I see here. So Alex Orsak from Texas, he's a solid player. You know, Frank as well from the East Coast that we talked about, and just out of the top 10. Steve from Ontario, he's a top guy. Brandon, I think he's a bit of a more of a newcomer, but I think he has performed well, and you know he hit the top table a couple times. I'm just okay. I'm a nobody. It's the easy game there. But he also played Rob, who won the Masters, right, and was hanging around the top 10. So
And that's not a
no
great
easy
pool.
games really.
Yeah, that pool against that list and the last one, that's not a great pool for him. Well, maybe with all the shooting, but
Yeah, it's not bad either because Rob has horses, right? Like Lords of Battle or
yeah.
whatever. It's still a lot of wounds.
It's just that one turn that Rob gets where he charges if he gets a good charge off with like 10 of his cav.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, Rob was not rolling very well this game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, do
So
it.
he charged in and then he just would roll 3 highs on the 3 dice and then he just kind of fell apart, just melted. So
All right. I guess going into our Clash winner here. First place, Mitchell Hammond, Depths of Moria. Will, you play Moria? Want to
I
represent?
I've only played Depths of Moria once this edition, and it was against you, if you remember that.
And you retired right after.
It's too strong. So Depths of Moria with the Balrog as the leader, 3 Goblin Prowlers, 7 Goblin Warriors with Shield, 7 Goblin Warriors with Spear. And then Moria Goblin Captain with 2 Goblin Prowlers, 5 Goblin Warriors with Shield, 5 Goblin Warriors with Spear, and then a Moria Goblin Captain with 2 Goblin Prowlers, 5 Moria Goblins with Shield, and 5 with Spear. Yeah, for 44 models.
Yeah. So basically, this army got better even with the third book, sneakily, Armies of Middle Earth, because the Prowlers are actually a pretty good addition.
Yeah. They get fight for and you're the Balrog too.
Yeah. And the throwing weapons. It's
Stock
just,
unseen.
I mean, all you gotta say, Mitchell, is just, get some new material. Adepticon wasn't enough. You
I
needed
know.
another one.
just spamming the most broken armies and then going on his podcast talking about how not broken his broken armies are.
Well, yeah.
I think it is just, again, like the Balrog really solid. The not breaking is big, and then the banner effect just everywhere, I think that's what
It's
he
just-
harps on the most, is the banner. And I am inclined to believe that if
It is the banner. The Balrog
Yeah.
is just the Balrog. You're still paying points for him.
Yeah.
And
Well, that and the not breaking, right? Because then
yeah.
global banner, and the game goes on forever.
yeah.
I
right?
think it's the mix of the two together.
And I mean, jokes aside, like Mitchell is one of the top players in the league too. So
Well, I mean, there's also that, but
yeah, so that it
No, it's just the
somewhat
list.
matters. Okay, so I guess rolling through his game schedules here. Game one, he got a win over Return the King. Second game, another Return the King, another win. Win over Shadows of Angmar. And then Kingdom of Khazad-dûm, another huge win, 19-0. And that's game four. Game five, 16-1 over Host of the Witch King. And then he beat me 7-0 in the last round. Yeah, and I would say again, some notable names as well that he took down. Amin, who is the rookie of the year in our league. Patrick, I'm not too sure, but I know he traveled from, I believe, Arizona. So great to have him here. And then Nick, who was fourth place. And then Nav, I'm not too sure. Might be a newer player. And then Tristan, who was ninth, the host of the Witch King, that was ninth place that we reviewed today. And then, myself at third place. So yeah, the strength of schedule was not bad as well. But yeah, my depths are still good, I guess. In a 6-game tournament.
They're just solid. They're
Yeah.
just good.
Yeah. I mean, it's not bad. Those first two the matchups aren't the worst for the pools either.
Mhm.
I just don't know if there's a particularly like bad matchup for depths in armies or scenarios, I think is the scary thing. And I think this is why someone who has the skill like Mitchell can consistently get
Yeah.
second at Adepticon this year and then first here at two big GTs. Because if you think about it, like the consistency of that, right? That's two 6-game tournaments.
You know
It's
what's
just
even more
there's
consistent?
yeah,
Third at both with
Huh?
Army of the White Hand.
we're not talking about me right
I
now.
know.
And at least I played different armies, okay?
Sorry. But yes, it is very impressive.
Yeah, I think it just shows that, and I think I saw a stat somewhere where someone was keeping track of the GBHL wins this year as well, and especially for the 100s, the podium for Depths of Moria is by far ahead of everyone else. So it might not necessarily be the best army, but it seems like it's one of the most consistent armies at the very top, at least.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense. I feel like it feels one-dimensional to me a little bit, but I feel like it's so good at being.
It's a good dimension.
Like
It's a good dimension.
Yeah. Like all you need to as long as you don't overextend the Balrog and put it in a position where it'll like die or
Yeah.
get one-shotted to like a combo, like it usually ends up doing pretty damn well because of just the benefit of those bonuses, right? And then VP denial too, right? Because then you're denying leader wounds, you're denying leader kill, you're denying the break.
And then the goblins can do
Yeah.
all right separated from the Balrog because of the
'Cause-
banner, and they can just shield if they need. And
Well, actually, just thinking about this, like all you really need to do, as long as you keep the Balrog safe, you keep the Balrog and your captain safe, and then you just play the main objective. You can ignore
Yeah.
all the other secondaries because your opponent's not going to score them.
Yeah. And he's dominant 10,
10.
so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
pretty easy to play the
Yeah.
primary
You-
objective.
You know what, guys? I think it's about time that the Balrog had a base size increase. We've seen the Watcher get one, the Cave Drake kind of got one, the Cave Troll got one. The Balrog model's tiny compared to what he looks like in the movie. Let's get him on a
He could.
Dragon
catapult troll
base.
base.
He's a dragon
Catapult.
base.
Honestly,
Dragon.
it actually would help because there are
It
some
would.
people who model just the modeling it with like the wings out and the tail, and it looks so cool. Because he's on such that small base, he's just fucking taking out your battle line every time you try to fucking move.
That would be
Yeah.
that would be a hilarious nerf, by the way. Just in the FAQs, Balrog is now on a 160 mil.
Wow, the 100, even the 100 mils lost me the game against Rivendell because I couldn't get through a choke point with my both my cave drakes at once. So it would be something.
At least 130, please.
At least 130.
Uh, okay, so yeah, that's our top 10. Any final thoughts about Clash?
Actually, can you just pop back to the top 10 list?
Were there any duplicate lists in the top 10?
Um, doesn't look like it actually.
So
Not even in the top really 16. Oh no.
The Shadows of Agmar, but
yeah.
other than that, yeah.
I think it's interesting. In the top 5, there's no good lists. And in the top 10, there's one
That is
good
true.
list. Or two. No,
Yeah,
one.
just the one.
Just Alex. Which is crazy because when you're looking at the stats of lists submitted, it was like 60% good, 40% evil.
That is a good catch. Yeah, if there was more good, and pretty much none of them made it to the top.
Which is, yeah, it's wild. Even
I mean,
like,
I guess there were a couple. There, the ones that we called out, like just the fringe, right?
yeah,
Fields was 11th.
you get
Battle
more in the top
Fornos
15,
12.
but
Return of the King 14.
And then a big shout out, Julian, Kingdom
Yeah.
of Rohan.
At 15th. Very
Yeah.
impressive.
he's a Theodred stan.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yes. I played against him. Theodred didn't last very long.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
My
It
boy.
was the first game of the day. He got charged by a Drake, and no, it was a great matchup for me.
Yeah. I wonder, to Ian's point, if the dominance of the evil armies could be attributed to points values, because it's harder for good to get like the number of models that you maybe need to compete in certain scenarios. Because Ian, like, your army, for instance, Fornos, very strong still, but you have to take the two big hitters, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's a good point. Like, well, maybe not. My matchups weren't too bad numbers wise, but that's because I went against 2 all cav armies. So, and they were still getting close to matching me. So maybe that's a fair point.
And then if you want to narrow it down to the podium, like Mitchell, Baz, and myself, numbers wise, if the average model count for this tournament, I think it was like 32 or something, I believe.
Yeah.
Mitchell 44, Baz 54, me 46.
Yeah. You're
I don't know.
high,
It could be
high
something.
numbers.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point.
Even the Corsairs, really
Yeah.
high numbers too.
51 with Corsairs, right?
Minas
SF.
Morgul as well. I think 44 with that one.
44.
Numbers are pretty good, I guess.
Yeah, it's not until you get 7, 8, then they're into the 30s there.
Yeah. But
That's
it is
still
nice
high,
to
mid,
see
high
the
30s, so.
the list diversity at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, besides all the 3 lists that I've been doing well, everywhere else.
Yeah, that's yeah. If we ignore those tryhards, then it gets pretty exciting.
I mean, they're all like really solid players up there, right? So not to take anything away.
Some exciting lists like the Necromancer and Shadows of Agmar and
Corsairs.
Corsairs, of course. Yeah, Corsairs.
Big.
Yeah, it's doable, even if like they're not rated very highly. So, I mean, I'm just thinking about like the last Clash on the Coast, because that was basically the end of last edition, right? And would you guys think that there is more, I guess, list parity, even if there's like, obviously there's always going to be like stronger and weaker lists, right? But are the weaker lists more viable now?
The weak ones are still weak. Like, what do you mean?
We just saw like Corsairs at 5th place. And
Yeah, but like, there's
Necromancer.
still other lists that are shit that are just always going to be shit.
But I think maybe I mean, it's still really early on in the edition, but maybe some of the middle lists are maybe a little better than people give them credit for.
Yeah,
I think.
I would agree. There's probably a lot of lists that are being slept on right now still. Just because like, I mean, the top 3 here, those are all like the big ones that everybody's like oogling now. I mean, Man of the West too has been a more recent one with the Gandalf Aragorn build. That one's
Rivendell too.
been big, right? But it's just kind of starting to pop up. So I think the metal's still going to shake up a lot as people kind of find these builds that aren't very popular and start doing well with them. But I don't know if anything's going to dethrone these three for a while.
I think we definitely need an FAQ
Yeah.
for at least two of them. I don't know about Uglux because as
Yeah.
dominant as they are at 650, if you go up, they're not as crazy.
Yeah.
But I definitely think Depths of Moria and Army of the White Hand, fingers crossed, February we do get some adjustments there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done with them. Nerf
Yeah.
White Hand to the ground.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Make Grima 160 points.
Sure.
He's over it.
So what's next then, Richard?
Something's brewing.
Oh,
I mean,
uh-oh.
Can I give a little spoiler? He like sent me a list of like Lothlorien for the new TTS one that's coming up, and I was like, "This looks like White Hand."
But it's not. That's
But
the
it's
thing.
not.
That
But
is
it looks
not.
like White Hand.
I think Lothlorien's good. I think it's a really good list. It's scary.
It's got the shenanigans.
It does.
All right. Well, any shout outs, Will, before we head off?
I guess just shout outs to Kevin for coming along with me and enduring a 2.5 hour flight and spending the weekend in a small little room cramped together that we stayed in.
The face of the
and
channel.
That's right. Yes, you get to see my face today, which is different because normally I'm holding the camera. But yeah, shout outs to him. And yeah, if you want to check out Hobby Hobbits, we're hopefully going to record another battle report soon. It's been a little while, but we've been pretty busy. So,
Oh, by the way, when this is up,
oh
you guys
yes,
should check out Will and Kevin's recap of their Clash weekend. It should be
Yes.
up.
it should be.
We
Yes.
were told that it should
Yes.
be up at this point.
Yes. As of recording, it is not, but it should be by the time this goes up. And if it's not, I don't know, but it should be.
Write mean comments on the channel. No,
That's
just
Watch
kidding.
this.
right.
Any traffic is good traffic.
That's right. That's right. Get all your family and friends to go write mean comments too, and then make them subscribe and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna start working on it soon.
Shout out to our awesome Patreon community. Check out Patreon for more details, which includes extra perks like extra content and custom dice. I also want to shout out our sponsors. Check out the Baron of Dice website for a wide range of dice, including for Middle-earth. And check out the Mithril Brush painting contest dedicated to Middle-earth. We're doing a giveaway for all patrons who've entered by the end of the year. Links in the description below.
Thank you all for watching. Thanks, Will, for coming on to review Clash with us, and we'll see you all next time.